You all think I wouldn't do a video about this. Well, I guess I gotta get back to the community because word has it that a lot of people in the community think I'm a bit smug and arrogant and yada yada yada. Well, I'm sorry that I don't speak as if I came out of a. Well, you know what? Let me shut up. Let me shut up because the topic of this video today is what we can learn from Mama's Cooking, from Bus Life, from Kwame Brown. You all know who he is. He's been out for the better part of a month, and he has been tearing it up. I mean, if we were to compare subscribers to the price of cryptocurrency, I mean, you thought Mr. High Value Kevin Samuels, shout out to him too, you thought he was something. If Kevin Samuels, if KS was rising like Dogecoin, well, actually, what would be? Yeah, if KS is Bitcoin, right? Then Kwame Brown has to be Ethereum. And eventually, I'm not going to give you my personal financial opinions because that's what they are, opinions. But right now, isn't Mama's Cooking succeeding high value? No. Honestly, what I want is for those two to collab. But to be honest, what can we learn from Kwame Brown? If you don't know who he is, he was actually the first ever overall draft pick. Not just first rounder, but first person to get picked number one overall out of high school. However, according to a lot of what he's been saying, there's been a conspiracy theory to convince people or convince entities to not have them come out of high school. We need them in playing our hoopty hoops in the NCAA for a few years. Just get a little out. Even though the Supreme Court has now recently ruled that student athletes can now get paid. And do you think that's a coincidence? First of all, do you think this recent Supreme Court ruling isn't coincidental with the exposure of Mama's Cooking, of Bus Life, Bus Gang, of Kwame Brown? I'm just saying. And it's just a little side note there. But what can we learn from Kwame Brown? Well, it's simple. Knowledge doesn't come from a monolith source. Knowledge can come from all shapes, sizes, races, backgrounds, and tones. Because, let's be honest, when you hear Kwame Brown, right, the first things you might think include country boy, SEC basketball. Okay, yeah, actually, he was going to go to Florida anyway, so, he would have fit right in. He would have had look, and some of the other individuals who I've been seeing be a bit more critical towards Kwame Brown, yeah, they've had a couple of choice words for him, to say the very least. Whether it's the moist doctor who has been trying to give him snide remarks and trying to take his channel down on the back end on some covert takedown ops crap, or zombie. Yeah, we are not going to even touch him. That is like toxic. Anyway, but if you listen past the roasting, if you listen past the southern drawl or twang or whatever you want to call it, if you listen past the country bumpkin-esque kind of appeal, if you listen, if you listen, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, if you listen past the Pookie image, the country Pookie image, you may learn a thing or two from Kwame Brown. Oh man, can you believe that? You may learn a thing or two from Mr. Bus. Oh, I thought he was a bus. I thought he was nothing. I thought he was a failure. Ain't wrong. I'm sorry to say, but an individual who owns his own land, and before that was in the NBA for over a decade and made $68 million. That's far from a bust. Now, can you say he isn't a Hall of Famer? Oh, yeah, obviously, duh. But even in that case, he has his reasons, and they sound somewhat legit. Particularly him being worked out on the day of games, like intensely worked out, and him only getting a few minutes. All right, cool. Say what you want. That's more of a sports argument. But In the case of Kwame Brown and what we can learn from him, have you not been listening to this guy? I mean, this individual, you want to talk about knowledge that is just organic, salt of the earth, and just full of common sense. What was it, like what was it, the man of common sense, the conservative guy, E.T. Williams. There you go. He sort of reminds me of E.T. Williams in a sense. I mean, those two need to do a DNA test. I'm not sure if they're like distant relatives, uncle, nephew kind of thing. But yeah, with that being said, I can't say that despite what I might think of someone initially, if I hear them, just like how the community does to me. I mean, they do it to me and say, "Oh, you so what? Oh, man, do you play snow? Oh, do you have swag? Are you?" Yeah, no, we aren't. No. If all of you can do that to me, then I have a right to do that to someone who sounds like they just came out of a freaking No Limit video, all right? Or Hot Boys video. I don't know. Nonetheless, Kwame Brown, you can't tell me that this guy doesn't know a thing or two about a thing or two. And you know what? Because of that, I'm going to make a declaration on this channel. Regardless of how long I have this channel for, or if I do another channel, wink wink, I will no longer use the term Pookie and Ray Ray in order to degrade a particular individual. Because guess what? That word has been beaten to the freaking ground. Because Pookie and Ray Ray, now at this point, has become just anyone who fits the quote-unquote black masculine trait. And yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of it, to be quite honest. But nonetheless, don't tell me there are individuals who you can't learn a thing, who may have the black masculine trait, whether it's from the hood or from the countryside, and they may come off as a bit, yeah. So I cannot, with good conscience, say that I can use the Pookie and Ray word. The word's retired in this channel. The EL word, that's definitely retired in this channel because that's used as a slur. I mean, the community throws that word around like certain other communities throw around the hard R word. And that's how I see the EL word. As a matter of fact, if you call me an EL, yeah, there will be problems. There will be issues. I mean, no, I don't fight because, unlike the people who say it, I actually have stuff in my life. But I don't fight, I sue. Let's just say that. At this point, we have to understand the difference between street cats, country boys, and knuckleheads, which is what we're going to talk about in the last few minutes of this video. You got street cats and country boys who, yeah, they may have a particular vernacular accent to them. They may be of the streets or of the country or of the block or whatever. But there are those who know their stuff. There are those who know right from wrong. And particularly there are those who know right from wrong and are not afraid to do right, at least for the most part. And these individuals, they do not get as much attention as they should. I hate to say it. I really hate to say it. I mean, you got street cats, even street cats, within the particular sector of YouTube, you have street cats. I mean, you can come up with several of them. Sorry if I've forgotten your names, but yeah. But you do also, within that vicinity, have knuckleheads. Knuckleheads who ruin it for everyone. Knuckleheads who, and you can tell who these knuckleheads are, the real knuckleheads are. The knuckleheads who try to emulate the street cats. The knuckleheads who basically live for crashing on their girl's couch or their mama's couch. Mama! Yeah. Or even their homie's couch. I mean, really, dude? Your homie's couch? I mean, at least pay him your little hustle money there. Those whose diets consist of juicy juice, freaking Lunchables, and the occasional cooked meal from the girl who validates them until she gets tired of him because he's only performing with, 55 minutes instead of 60 minutes. All right, trust me. And trust me, these knuckleheads usually get their day. Whenever they either don't perform enough, whenever their the physical prowess of them slightly fades, or if they if they knock and buck, whatever you want to call that song, if they actually step up and say, "Oh hell no, oh hell no, girl, yeah, look, I ain't gonna be your buck, I ain't gonna be your buck no more." Shoot, no. And a lot of these guys, and check this out, I don't think I am not seeing how plenty of these guys are trying to either co-sign simp, beta man provider, cleanup man behavior, or shaming guys who may not be of the communitized select because they want to preserve their spot. They want to preserve their Punani spot. Oh yeah, that might be a deeper video we may get into by itself if the people want it. But we see the knuckleheads who are co-signing simp behavior. We see the knuckleheads who basically are backing up the daggles. We see the knuckleheads who are shaming black men who don't want to be seen as less than, or who are tired of their current predicament. We see all that. We see those who want the community to remain the same because they are getting an endless supply, at least for now, of that scraggle, daggle, razzle. We know. I know, you know. Everybody knows, all right? All the three-letter agencies know. Pepper Ridge Farm knows. They remember, so they obviously know. But as far as Kwame Brown goes, yeah, especially after watching that Joe Brown segment, yeah. The guy's legit. You can learn a thing or two from him. And you gotta look past the southern accent. Maybe stay around for the roast. I mean, enjoy the roast. I mean, because that's what and check this out. I don't roast as much. I do my little roasting here or there. And check this out. A lot of people from the community, for whatever reason, aren't going to listen to the likes of myself and others who may sound like me, act like me. Fine. I've accepted that years ago. I get it. I don't have the hood juice or the, I call the baby kid juice, for lack of a better word. Shout out to O'Shea for the original term. But nonetheless, wherever they hear a good message from is something I'm not going to object to, regardless of what you may think he represents on the outside. And for all you guys who are hating because of that, because he represents the guy that may have bullied you, may have picked on you in middle of high school, and used butthurt, and then why y'all listening to that basketball player who sound like he's on the Unk Squad and he reps a freaking Southern rap band? What? Stop. Look. Do not make me put in the Michael Jordan phrase.
I'm Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get some help.
Everyone else, you know what time it is. For all the rest of you out there, have a good one. Take care.